Hi, I'm Shine, and this is Divine Shine Tarot with your mid-month reading for the second half of January 2025. Since we're still in Capricorn season, I'm starting off this reading series with my Earth signs, so that's Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo. I'll leave the timestamps down below. Remember, these readings are for entertainment purposes only. If anything resonates, please let me know in the comments. Also, leave me questions or suggestions for readings you'd like to see from me in the future. I'm raising funds to purchase medical equipment, so I appreciate any donations or shiny items you care to gift from my Amazon and Etsy lists linked below. If you're inspired, but not required. Now, I ask that the Spirit step forward to divinely guide my vision and messaging for these Earth sign readings. Let's start with Capricorn. Happy birthday to all my Capricorns celebrating this month. Spirit, what's coming for my Capricorns in the second half of January? What are they experiencing? What should they prepare for in the second half of January? King of Swords. So this is someone who is a master communicator, in control of their thoughts, thinking very clearly, articulate, disciplined, great time to trust your ideas. 3 of Pentacles, working with people, colleagues, teamwork, something to do with potential lucrative opportunities, so a job where you're working with others. Ace of Cups, a new passion, a new creative idea, something that you are excited about or energized, has you energized. The Moon. So this card indicates that there may be illusions that may either dissuade you or discourage you, but this encourages you to face your fears. Let's get one more. 10 of Swords. So something has come to an end, something has reached its final potential, and it's time to close that chapter to start a new one. So let's take a look at the overview here. King of Swords. So this is either you, someone in your life, or this is telling you that you need to be this persona, which is very clear with their thoughts and their communication. So this indicates that perhaps there is a decision that you're trying to make or something that you're looking to think through. And it's wise to be very sharp about the decision to make sure that it doesn't create more damage, since you have come to the end of something. And then since this indicates something to do with job, career, I'm sure that that decision must relate to something having to do with finance and something lucrative. Lots of new energy here, because even though something has come to an end or is ending, this indicates that this closed chapter will start anew, so long as you make the correct decision and don't be trepidatious or dissuaded by illusions of things being perhaps more difficult, more complicated than they seem. Let's get a card out for an additional message or perhaps a piece of advice. Spirit, what advice or message do you have for my Capricorn in the second half of January? Let's get some advice or a message for Capricorn in the second half of January. 7 of Pentacles. So this card means that you have put in the work, and now it's time for you to see your harvest grow. This card is asking you to be patient, Capricorn. This is a good time for you to not be too impulsive. Don't dive into decisions too quickly without thinking them through first, especially if there's something that you're really excited about. Sometimes we jump into things without considering all aspects, and then we're dealing with some additional hurdles, whereas if we took more time for planning and preparation, perhaps we'd have a smoother entry into the opportunity or experience. And let's get one more message for Capricorn. Let's get a final message. Spirit, what final message do you have for my Capricorn in the second half of January? This says, focus your mindset on what you can control instead of what you can't. The world is your oyster. Elevate your thought patterns so that you can attract abundance into your life. You are what you believe. This is so complimentary to your reading, Capricorn, because you are definitely heavy in your thoughts, especially since there was a chapter that's closing and a new one opening, and you're dealing with other people. Usually that could be maybe perhaps a bit distracting or lend itself to some confusion. But this card reminds you to stay focused. All of the possibilities of the things that you may be wishing for, hoping for, wanting to manifest, it could be yours. It's just about you, as this says, elevating your thought patterns so that you can attract the abundance into your life. So don't go into these things with brute force. Be more in the mindset of calling things to you instead of pushing things to happen and going against the flow. This card is saying go with the flow, believe in yourself, have the patience to allow new things and allow new things to grow and flourish, and allow old things to reach the end of their journey. And this is the reading for Capricorn Sun or Rising for the second half of January 2025. Remember, these readings are for entertainment purposes only. Let me know in the comments if anything resonated with you. Hit the like, share, and subscribe buttons for notifications of my weekly horoscope, pop culture, and celebrity readings. Now let's move on to Taurus. Spirit, what's coming for my Taurus in the second half of January? What are they experiencing? What should they prepare for in the second half of January? Let's get a mid-month message for Taurus. Spirit, what is coming for Taurus in the... Oh, we got a bunch of cards here. The Emperor. This is a card of being the leader or a father figure. That could be either you or someone in your life. You have the Seven of Wands. So perhaps you are defending your turf, defending your hard work, something that you are fearful of losing. Temperance. So this is a card about having balance, moderation. The Star. Wow, really big events since these are all major arcana cards. The Star, so this indicates that there's hope. There is perhaps light at the end of the tunnel. Let's get one more for you, Taurus. Ooh, the Devil. Beware of temptations, vices, distractions. Let's have a look at the overview. So these are very strong cards. You have all major arcana cards, meaning these are major events in your life. Perhaps this is a very transformative time of the year, as it is for everyone, but particularly for you, Taurus. You or someone in your life seems to be perhaps a figure of authority, someone who's very much a leader, protective, someone that you can rely on to just maintain a structure, get things done. If you are this person, then perhaps that is a sort of stability for you, and you want to maintain that stability and comfort and sense of power and control over your life. So you're defending that position that you have. Maybe you have achieved this state through career accomplishments, through restructuring your networks. So that's friendships, family, colleagues. You have something here that you want to protect and that you want to stay in control of. So you may be a bit defensive at this time, protective at this time. Now this Temperance card encourages you to be sensible, to have balance and moderation, as I said earlier, Be very moderate in your approach of protecting yourself, because too much could start to block you from other opportunities. And this hope card indicates that things could always get better on the other side. Sometimes we think that there could only be negative consequences if we allow something to happen, but there could be pleasant surprises to behold should you allow things to unfold as they naturally would. The Devil card always reminds us to beware of anything that could steer us off course, anything that may be weighing us down, perhaps addictions, any sort of unhealthy attachments with things or with people. And this overall shows that perhaps you're at a stage in your life where you are content but seeking more. So in the process of seeking more, make sure you don't end up with less by falling to your any weaknesses or temptations that may be dangling themselves to take from your vision, from your energy. Let's get another card here out for Taurus to have an additional message or some advice. Spirit, what advice or message do you have for my Taurus in the second half of January? Let's get another message or some advice for Taurus in the second half of January. Ooh, 7 of Cups. So the illusion of choice. This card warns to take your time with all of the things before you that you may be trying to decide from. When we have many choices, sometimes we put into it some of our wishes, like there may be an illusion there where it's not really what's there. It's just that we want it to be so. So you want to be careful not to go for the shiniest, the most surface level option. If it's something in your career, if it's a new person in your life, if it's an investor or partner that you may be considering working with, or maybe you're choosing a new school, something new in your life that you perhaps are looking to expand upon or explore, you want to be sure that when you are making that choice that you are really scrutinizing all of those choices carefully to make sure you're not going for a lemon or something that is just not as good as it seems. And let's get a final message here for Taurus in this mid-month reading. Spirit, what final message do you have for my Taurus in the second half of January? Let's get a final message out for Taurus, second half of January. Never allow yourself to be taken for granted. It is better to remove yourself from the situation than to be treated less than you deserve. You are precious. You are worthy. So that card reminds you to know your worth. Don't waste your time in places and spaces or relationships where you are not being appreciated, where you are being taken advantage of or taken for granted. Be very careful with making any decisions at this time. You want to not fall for any distractions, temptations, anything that may be self-destructive if you do not make the correct decision is what these cards are encouraging you to avoid, Taurus. And that is the mid-month reading for Taurus, Sun or Rising for the second half of January 2025. Remember, these readings are for entertainment purposes only. Let me know in the comments if anything resonated with you. Hit the like, share, and subscribe buttons for notifications of my weekly horoscope, pop culture, and celebrity readings. Now, let's move on to Virgo. Spirit, what's coming for my Virgos in the second half of January? What are they experiencing? What should they prepare for in the second half of January? The World. Virgo, this card indicates that you may feel a sense of completion, accomplishment. You may be at the end of a lot of life experience and feeling a very full circle and fulfilled and wise stage in your life. This card could also indicate travel. Two of Pentacles. So you are juggling financial opportunities at this time, and it is wise to be mindful of time management and be very organized at this time. Next, we have the Three of Cups. Is this a social time for you, Virgo? Perhaps you have a lot of social commitments coming up that you're excited about, or that you wish you could be a little more social at this time. This card shows that perhaps you would like to be surrounded by your village, your network of loved ones. Then you have the Eight of Swords. So Virgo, do you feel that you are stuck, like in between a rock and a hard place? Are you at this time trying to make a tough decision where you believe it's a lose-lose on both sides? King of Swords. So this card advises you to be a leader in the area of thought. So really think out your moves, your plans, your actions. Be very thoughtful of whatever your next move will be. Let's have an overview of all the cards together. Virgo, so in the middle of Jan, it looks like you are in a good place, have lots of options, feeling light enough to go and socialize, but that may take you away from being responsible. And this is perhaps a time that you should be more mindful of taking your time to make decisions. You perhaps want to be more in the spirit of celebration at this time, that you have opportunities in front of you and social engagements. But this series of cards is reminding you to be grounded and really think through your decisions, the way that you're spending your time, so that you do not have to face consequences that are more severe than need be regarding all things that are responsible, duty-filled. While on one hand, you're feeling perhaps upbeat and have things to celebrate, you also have fears of perhaps being stuck. You want to continue to grow and flourish since you've already learned so much in your journey. And while we may want to lead with our heart, our emotions, these two cards remind you, keep some seriousness in your back pocket with all of the decisions that you may be having to make at this time, so that it could be lucrative and not so much consequential. Let's get another card out for my Virgos. Spirit, what advice or message do you have for my Virgos in the second half of January? What additional advice? Ooh, it's like something wanted to come out there. What additional advice or message do you have for my Virgos in the second half of January? Seven of Swords. This card is indicating there may be some deception, thievery, betrayal, lies within your network, your social community. So this card is giving the advice to be careful, Virgo. Do not be so trusting at this time. Use your King of Swords energy to be very thoughtful with the company that you keep, because there's someone that is either planning to betray you or already has. So the Seven of Swords is a warning that you may have someone in your life that is deceitful at this time, and be wise to avoid them. Make the right decisions so that you can be in the spirit of celebration instead of agonizing. Now let's get one more piece of advice, a final message for my Virgos. Spirit, what final message do you have for my Virgos in the second half of January? Let's get a final message for Virgo in the second half of January. If you pay close attention, you will notice all the doors that once were closed are opening up, just in different form. Things may not appear exactly as you had envisioned. So this may be encouraging you to not fear the consequences of decision making at this time. While there is definitely a lot to be cautious of with a potential deceptive party in your orbit, this card encourages you to still move forward with a wise thought process to make decisions, that nothing is set in stone, so it's not a guaranteed outcome that would be negative. If you apply the right thinking process, you can still make tough decisions and come out better on the other side, is what I'm getting from this combination of cards, Virgo. And that is the mid-month reading for Virgo, Sun or Rising, for the second half of January 2025. Remember, these readings are for entertainment purposes only. Let me know in the comments if anything resonated with you. So those are the mid-month readings for my Earth signs, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo, for what's coming in the second half of January 2025. Leave a comment if anything resonated, or mention something you'd like to see me cover in the future. Hit the like, share, and subscribe button for notifications of my weekly horoscope, pop culture, and celebrity readings. Donations and gift lists are linked below if you're inspired but not required. I wish you abundance and opulence. May divine light radiate through your life. Keep shining.